Hey guys, it's Kevin. So I've been using the Galaxy S22 Ultra for about 6 months now. It doesn't seem like a long time, but it is for me since I switch phones a lot. With all the Android phones released this year so far, is this still the one to get? In today's video, I'll give you an update on what it's been like using this phone, how it's held up so far, and why I've been sticking with this Android phone. So here's my review of the Galaxy S22 Ultra 6 months later. Okay, the build quality has been great. There are no major scratches, cracks, or dents. I said it before and I'll say it again. I don't use a case or screen protector on my phone. I created a video about why I don't use phone cases, so leave it in the cards and link it in the description box below. In bright lighting, there are several light scratches on the screen, probably from being in my pocket and placing the phone face down on a desk mat. And there's a small nick in the frame, nothing too major though. So the phone has Gorilla Glass Victus Plus on the front and back with an aluminum frame, and only the top and bottom of the phone are flat, the sides are rounded. Compared to the iPhone 13 Pro Max, it is more comfortable to hold, but I prefer a squared off design. In the back is this textured matte glass which doesn't attract too many fingerprints. Phantom Black is the best color. So the S22 Ultra has one, if not the best display in any smartphone on the market. It's a 6.8-inch screen with a resolution of 3088 by 1440. This makes it have a 90% screen to body ratio with the iPhone 13 Pro Max at 87%. It's a dynamic AMOLED 2X display with an LTPO 2.0 panel, meaning the refresh rate can go as high as 120Hz to as low as 1Hz. The display also supports HDR10 Plus and can go up to 1750 nits peak brightness, and I have no problem seeing the screen outdoors. Plus, in settings, you can get the screen even brighter by toggling the extra brightness option. This will drain the battery a lot quicker, but the extra brightness and contrasty colors makes watching videos more enjoyable. And speaking of contrast, the colors on this are very saturated compared to other phones. I like it and I don't like it. Colors pop a lot more, but it makes them look unrealistic, but this can be adjusted in display settings. In settings, display, screen mode, you can choose either vivid or natural. I leave it on most of the time though. The in-display ultrasonic fingerprint reader is a joy to use. It's lightning fast and way more accurate than the Pixel 6 Pro. Sometimes I unlock and relock the phone since it's so fast. So as great as the screen is, there's one thing I don't like about it, and it's the curved edges. Yeah, I get it that it looks cool and all, but it doesn't add anything to the phone. I get accidental touches, and when viewing bright content, the edges are slightly dimmer. Alright, the S22 Ultra has a Snapdragon 8 Gen 1, 12GB of RAM, and 256GB of storage, and the performance feels the same as when I first used the phone. Opening and switching between apps is buttery smooth, and I experience no slowdowns when multitasking. I can have Twitter and Chrome in split view, and a YouTube video in picture-in-picture, and have Instagram in a multi-window view. It's not ideal since there's limited screen real estate, but what other phone can do this? Now there's only 12GB of RAM, and I don't think I've ever used more than 8, but there's a RAM Plus setting that allows the phone to use the built-in storage, which is UFS 3.1 as virtual memory. You can choose up to 8GB, giving you a total of 20GB of RAM in a phone. My 13 Pro Max only has 6GB, and my MacBook Pro only has 32, so 20GB of RAM in a phone is crazy. When this phone first launched, there was a game optimizing service that slowed down the performance for some apps in order to reduce power consumption and save battery. I'm not the biggest mobile gamer, so I didn't really notice, but Samsung did release a software update with an option to turn this off. With great performance and tons of memory, I don't think this phone will have any problems in the next several years. So this phone still has that massive 5000 mAh battery, which is impressive since the S Pen is slotted in the left side of the phone. I went from 85% to 15% in 23 hours. 16 of those hours were screen off time, and 6.5 hours were screen on time, and about 5.5 hours of screen on time were from playing YouTube videos. If I didn't have the protect battery option enabled, then this can last even longer. I keep it on to limit the charging and extend the lifespan of the battery. Still, even with this on, the phone can last me about 24 hours. And this was with the brightness set to 75%, motion smoothness set to adaptive, and screen resolution set to Quad HD. I did another test under heavy usage from 100% with max brightness. Extra brightness and hotspot were enabled, and I almost managed to kill the battery. But in my normal use case, the battery can last me about 2 days. Even if the battery is running low, the optional 45W power adapter can charge the phone up to 50% in 20 minutes. On the back of the phone there are 4 cameras, a 108MP wide, 12MP ultra wide, and 2 10MP telephoto cameras at 3x and 10x, and on the front there's a 48MP selfie camera. So the wide camera defaults to 12MP, and it takes pretty nice photos, but if I want even more detail, then I can change it to 108MP. The difference isn't too noticeable, but as soon as I zoom in, there's a lot more detail. And one thing to note is that the file sizes are larger, so I don't use it too often. One camera that I didn't think I'd use a lot is a 10x telephoto. I have bad eyes, so I can't see that far, but the 10x zoom helped me see things I couldn't normally see. And the 100x space zoom is pretty cool to use, but the photos aren't that good. Here's a screen recording of the camera zooming into a pinwheel on It's a Small World at Disneyland. After touching the shutter button, the phone analyzes the photo and you get a decent shot. It's still impressive going from this to this. The videos on the S22 Ultra are pretty good too. I usually record in 4K 30fps, but you can record up to 8K 24fps. I did upload some videos using only this phone and they turned out great. There are extra camera modes in the app too. Pro mode for photos and videos lets you manually adjust the ISO, speed, focus, white balance, and mic. There's also single take, super slow-mo, director's view, and more. I do prefer the cameras on the 13 Pro Max, but the photos and videos on this are not bad at all. One UI is a mixed bag for me. There are lots of useful features added on top of Android 12, but I prefer a stock look. Fortunately, that can be fixed with a launcher. So the newest thing added to the Galaxy S lineup is the S Pen. I'm not the biggest S Pen user, but it's nice to have. Plus, it doesn't compromise on any specs. When the screen is off, I can take out the S Pen and begin writing down a note and pin it to the always on display as a reminder. Or if I have some free time, I can open up the PenUp app and start coloring. One feature I use often with the S Pen is Air Actions. I can set the phone on a tripod and take a picture or start a recording without touching the phone. Dex is another nice feature to have. It basically turns your phone into a PC. I rarely use it though. You need to pair a keyboard and mouse and plug in a USB cable. Those things were already connected to a real computer. Other cool features are one-handed mode, device care, and a customizable always-on display. The S22 Ultra is a big phone, even for me, so with a simple swipe down from the bottom, the whole UI shrinks down. Device care checks the phone's performance to make sure everything is in tip-top shape. I can monitor the battery, storage, memory, and more. For the always-on display, I can change the clock style, color, and even add an image. With the amazing display, excellent battery life, great build quality, good performance in cameras, and added features, the S22 Ultra has been my main Android phone for most of the year. It checks most of the things I look for in a smartphone, plus the color speaks to me. The only thing that's missing is a flat screen, but this phone will definitely be in the running for my phone of the year. And that's it for my long-term review of the Galaxy S22 Ultra. By the time this video is out, I should have the Galaxy Z Flip 4, so be sure to subscribe and hit the bell so you'll be notified when I post that. If you enjoyed this video, then you might like to watch this one on the iPhone 13 Pro Max or the M2 MacBook Air. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and I'll catch you guys in the next one. Bye!